Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back to Podium Pop, a Formula One podcast. We have another episode here for you this week. But before we get started, make sure you are following us on Spotify, subscribed on YouTube, and we are Podium Pop on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Make sure you're following us everywhere so you know when we are posting.
hmm We post a lot of good content. We do post our episodes weekly on Mondays, but we do always have special episodes for certain things that happen. So, example, we had a special episode for when the news dropped that Lewis was going to Ferrari for not this season, but next season, as well as we have some planned special episodes coming up. A special episode with a beginner's guide talking about Formula One Academy, about IndyCar. There are going to be some exciting events coming up that I'm sure we'll have some special episodes for as well. So in order to know when those special episodes come out, because they're not on a normal schedule, we definitely recommend following us. We post about it when we're doing it, and we would love for you to check out our other socials.
Yeah. We honestly got a little derailed this morning when coming up with our kind of script. And we got derailed by the Lance Stroll tag on TikTok.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Grace started it. She sent me a couple, and then that did lead me down a rabbit hole of me watching Lance Stroll TikToks, and then I was watching Lance and Fernando TikToks, and then I started watching Lance and Checo TikToks, and really the only thing that all of that proved to me that all of Lance's teammates end up falling in love with him, which I get. I get it now.
Me too.
I get why. And you know, another thing is, I feel like you sent me one, and it was like Lance's like funny, like Lance funny, being funny or like being sassy or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I always forget how much of how much like he has such a good personality. Like, not that I forget that, you know, but he doesn't talk a lot in like interviews. Like with everyone there, like he's definitely one of the quieter ones, but when he's like one-on-one with someone, he's freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's just a little shy sometimes.
Yeah, he's just a little shy.
Yeah, we can't blame him.
Yeah, not everyone can be Danny Ricciardo.
No, imagine if everybody was like Danny Ricciardo on the grid. Like they'd never get anything done in the interview.
They wouldn't get anything done. The egos would be insane. Well, actually, everybody on the grid does have a big ego.
Yeah, I feel like you have to.
Yeah, to be a Formula One race car driver, you have to have a big ego.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who do you think has the biggest ego?
Like, I automatically want to say Max, but I feel like that's...
But he, like, deserves it, you know?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I feel like it's unfair. I don't know if unfair is the right word.
I think... Yeah, like all the people that I would say have the biggest ego, definitely. Not that that's I'm not saying it in an insulting way either. You have to have a big ego, but I mean, putting aside the people that haven't won the world championship, so out of those people that have the biggest ego, I would say Charles.
I feel like Charles does, yeah.
Mainly because he's just so.
Does too.
Lando does too, yeah. So, I think Charles has a big ego because he knows how like hot he is. Actually, like he's just so good looking that, and he has to know he's good looking. You know,
100%.
I think it relates to his self-confidence in every aspect of his life.
Yeah,
which good for him.
Yeah,
I think that's a good thing.
Me too.
So, anyways, again, a little derailed.
Yep.
We're a little distracted this morning.
Sorry. It's going to be a fun episode, though.
Yeah.
We'll talk a bit about preseason testing. And this was my first ever preseason testing, which also this is going to be my first full season.
That's very exciting.
Yeah,
I watched the full season of 2023, and then I watched the second half of 2022. But I didn't watch 2023 preseason testing. So this is technically my first preseason testing as well.
Yeah.
There are some bits that were definitely confusing, and there's a learning curve to it. The biggest thing for me was struggling to not take the results of preseason testing too hard, because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know their strategy. You don't know what they're specifically testing as they go out and do a lap. Like, there's so many factors that lead into the results that they get. And then there is sandbagging, which I've
Mm-hmm.
said the term sandbagging probably at least 100 times in the last 2 weeks because that's how I'm getting
Yeah.
through all of this. Sandbagging is basically when a team goes into preseason testing and they purposely kind of don't show everything that the car can do. And nobody knows if someone is sandbagging until the first race, really, until
Yeah.
we see the actual
Qualifying.
results from it, until
Yeah.
qualifying, or even um, free practice 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always really nerve-wracking, and I look at the results and I get nervous, but then I'm like, don't get nervous. There's, you don't know what that means. But I
Yeah.
will say the Ferraris looked pretty freaking fast.
They looked so fast.
Like, they looked
Every
much better than I was expecting.
I know, especially compared to last year. Everybody in the interviews was saying that too.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like, well, we're not as fast as the Ferraris and the Red Bulls.
Yeah. No, it's scary
It's so scary.
as a McLaren fan. It's terrifying, I won't lie.
Yeah. I'm really scared, I'm gonna be honest. Both like Lando and Stella were like, don't expect much from the first race.
It's okay. It's okay. They're just sandbagging.
They're sandbagging.
It's just sandbagging. Yeah, I'm gonna be a nervous wreck this week because at least like if if it is true that they don't do great in Bahrain, which we know going into the weekend, that they even said that out of all of the tracks, Bahrain is not one of their strong tracks.
Yeah.
For their car. So we already know that they're not gonna like come in and do amazing, but it's still like I don't know. I won't. At least after I see it happen on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
I'll at least know. You know, the anticipation. That's what gets me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. I also, when I started watching last year, that was when McLaren started doing good and like almost always finishing in points. So
yeah, Grace didn't
not...
know the struggles of being a McLaren fan when we're not doing good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. So I'm a little scared.
Yeah, it's not fun.
We'll get through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
We love a bit of a British accent.
Yeah, should we do a whole podcast like this?
I think people would not like that.
Log off. Yeah, so preseason testing, we got to see a lot of content coming from the drivers. I think all of the cars look good. Again, I don't take any of the results too seriously. I do get worried about Williams and how they struggled so hard the first day in particular. Not a great sign at all.
Mm-mm.
Makes me scared.
Yeah, it makes me really scared.
I just want them to do good.
They will do good.
I want Logan to do good. I mean, I want Alex to do good too, obviously, but
Yeah.
I need Logan to do good.
For my mental well-being, I need him to do good.
Yes.
It'll happen.
It'll happen.
Realistically, how many times do you think he'll score points this year?
Oh. I think that he will score points. Realistically?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for 3 races.
That's what I was thinking, like 3 or maybe 4.
I was struggling. I was in between 3 and 5. Like I was like, if I want to be really like overestimated a bit, I would have said 5.
Yeah.
But realistically, I think it'll be 3, which will be an upgrade from last year.
100%. Do you think he's going to finish last?
Unless something really goes bad in one of the cars, not one of the drivers, but one of the cars. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. The only other person I could see finishing last behind Logan would, again, unless something else goes really bad with one of the cars, maybe one of the Haas drivers.
I was like K-Mag.
Yeah, I was thinking K-Mag too. Like,
unfortunately,
someone commented on our TikTok when I when I made the TikTok about how I keep using sandbagging as like just, being delusional that McLaren's going to go in and do amazing. Someone commented K-Mag world champion.
That's so funny.
And that's so funny. Like my level of delusion and that person's level of delusion are not on the same level.
No.
But you know what? I appreciate the loyalty. That's
I'd
always a
love
good
to see
sign.
it. Yeah.
It's always a good sign to see that loyalty. Another exciting thing that happened this week is the new episode of Drive to Survive dropped.
Mm-hmm.
We have not watched it yet.
No, not yet.
We are watching it today, so we will have our thoughts in another episode about what we thought of Drive to Survive. Drive to Survive is always a very controversial topic because people think that it is over dramatized, which it is, and that it creates storylines, which it does, and that a lot of it makes a lot of it is presented like the world of Formula One is presented in a way that it actually isn't, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
like I think as long as you know that there's much more to it than just what you see in Drive to Survive, I think it's fine. I think let me have my fun by watching it.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you want to watch it, like I don't know, the people who just like hate on you for like finding the sport through Drive to Survive or like still watching it, whatever.
That's the point of Drive to Survive, is to get more new fans.
Yeah.
So,
it also makes me think my boss, she watches Drive to Survive, but like doesn't watch any of the races. And I was like, wow. And she knows I'm a Lando fan. I was like, I wonder what she thinks of me being a Lando fan, only knowing him from the Drive to Survive perspective.
Yeah. No, because there's been some times where they have made him look not so great.
Yeah.
And again, they just create, like, they villainize people. Like, I wonder, who do you think they're going to villainize? Obviously, Max. But who do you think they're going to villainize the most?
I heard Max was, like, barely in it.
Yeah, he's like, keep my name out your mouth.
Yeah, I heard he signed some, or, like, doesn't give them the right to film him or something. Like, they can take stuff that, like, airs for the races. I forget what it was. I saw that from a Twitter user, so.
But I wonder why he was able to do that. Like, none of the drivers like Drive to Survive, except maybe like Daniel. Yeah. So why was he allowed to not sign it and the others were? Like, did he like pay Netflix a bunch of money being like, no?
Well, I feel like
or maybe it was like a team call, like.
Yeah, because how they portrayed him so badly that he like brought up defamation, and they were like, all right, that's fine. We won't film you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's good. Good for him, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be sad that I don't get a bunch of Max content, but is everybody else in it?
I think so. We do, spoiler, get Max content in the form of that paddle game over summer break.
Oh, they filmed that.
Did you not know that?
No.
I'm so sorry for spoiling that for you.
No, I'm so excited. I just love, like, the fact that we're going to have, 8 hours of just Formula One content that we get to just consume today.
It's going to get me through the week, to be honest.
It's going to get me through the week. Gosh, that's super exciting. I just, like I said, I know all of it's, unrealistic, but, it's just fun.
Let people have their fun.
I do always use, every time I'm trying to get someone into Formula One, I do tell them to start with Drive to Survive. Because, again, it gives you, good basic knowledge. And then you obviously, to watch the races, you're, when you watch, a season of Drive to Survive and then you watch your first race, you're you still have no idea what's going on. And that's okay. You're not supposed to know what's going on in your first race. But it gives you, a good, it helps you find your favorites, although my favorites, from Drive to Survive versus actually watching the races are obviously very completely different. I loved Red Bull, obviously, with Drive to Survive, although on season 1 they weren't the powerhouse that they are now. The mitochondria.
Oh.
Powerhouse of the cell. But I started as a Red Bull fan with Drive to Survive, and then once I actually started, I liked McLaren too. during Drive to
Mhm.
Survive because I loved Daniel Ricciardo. So I almost became a McLaren fan because of Daniel, and then obviously he left, but I stayed a McLaren fan and a Daniel fan. I do
Yeah.
love Daniel. But it's definitely very different. But I do always encourage people to watch the show
Yeah.
because I think it's a good stepping stone.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially like,
My
oh, you go.
Oh, I was just saying my cousin was in town this weekend, and she does watch. She did tell me she listened to every episode, so shout out to you, Megan.
Thank you.
Um, but I was like trying to get her to watch the show. I have the driver's pictures all over my fridge from an old video that we did, which I just put them on there randomly. But I was explaining to her the Alex Albon's appendix story
Oh, that's a
leading
good
to
story,
Lewis
honestly.
Gunnar Ferrari, and she was following it too. And then
I
I
love that.
referenced Danny Ricciardo later on in the night. She's like the one that broke his hand. I was like, yes,
That's
yes, she's
amazing.
listening.
You have to keep
So
those up.
I know.
That'll get us to have more of our friends watch.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like if they just gave it a chance, they would like it. So many of our friends love watching sports. They just have never watched Formula One. And I just think if they give it a chance, they'll love it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how Lauren like fixates on different like football players? Like how she loved like Patrick Mahomes at one point,
Oh, yeah.
and that she just like loves certain players. I feel like she would just love certain drivers, and she'd be like, but she'd pick like the funny ones. Like, I don't know. I think she would like it if she got into it, but
Yeah. I think we talk
it's
about it too much at this point. They're like, I'm not
yeah,
watching.
on like because they don't want to like give in. They're like, no, I
Yeah.
refuse to because of
Which,
this.
that's actually so fair.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. It's like whenever we're sitting around and two of our friends are teachers and they start talking about teacher things, we're like, oh my gosh, like we don't get this. Like it's definitely how it is. It's definitely worse with Formula One for us.
Yeah, that's all we talk about.
It's all we talk about. So yeah, the first race is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to have a bit of a watch party, but we can't. We got invited to a baby shower. So it's not during the baby shower, but it's about a 2-hour drive, and the 2-hour drive is going to be happening during the race. So we do plan on. We need to get those plans sorted out. By the way, we're gonna plan on having sitting in the back seat of somebody else's car watching the full race.
Yeah.
During the drive.
Mobile. We were mobile during the sprint race of Austin.
Where were we?
We went
Huber's?
to the winery. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We were on the way to or back? Back, yeah, and we were wine drunk watching the race in the backseat of the car.
Yeah. Our driver was sober.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we
were in the backseat. Yes. Yeah. We were not driving.
Cruel summer vibes.
Yeah.
Except for watching a Formula One race.
Yeah, no, it was. So we've done it before. I think we are doing a watch party the second race. There's I have trouble saying this word every time. Will you say it for me?
What word?
Brewery. I can't say it. I don't know. There is. They always host the Formula One watch parties. So we might go to that for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Everything is moved up a day this week and actually the next 2 weeks, the races are on Saturday. So make sure your calendars are marked.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Imagine someone misses that. That'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So, yes, both the first 2 races are on Saturdays this year, and then it'll go to the normal Sunday schedule. I want them to release all of the schedules for the weekends. Like, I think it's ridiculous that they haven't done it yet.
To release the sprint schedules. That's literally all they need to do. And the Miami race is now 6 races away. I know it's in May, but
I know. Wow.
Can you tell me what time I need to be at the track?
It's crazy. What are the races? So it goes Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Australia, Japan, China, or China, Japan?
I think it's China, Japan maybe, and then Miami.
We were talking about how we're going to have like the craziest month ever in May because the first week is the Miami race, and then we've dabbled with the idea of going
Hmm.
to the IndyCar race the second weekend of May. It's in Indianapolis, but it's the
Yeah.
road course. And then the weekend after that is qualifying for the Indy 500, and then the weekend after that is the Indy 500, which we are going to, which we need to get our tickets for.
Hmm.
So that's literally like a different racing event, 4 weeks in a row, the month of May. So basically, don't ask us to hang out in May
No.
unless it's at one of those
I'm
events.
I'm booked.
Hmm. Some of our friends are going with us to the Indy 500, which I'm really excited about.
Hmm.
I think they're going more to drink, and we're going there to watch the race, but which we're gonna drink too, and I'm sure they'll watch some of the race. But
Yeah, we'll do a little flip.
um, I know but I think it'll be really fun for them to kind of see
Yeah, it's also just
everything.
such a fun event too.
Hmm.
Like,
I'm excited.
I'm so excited for it. We've also live so close, not so close. We're like a
I
two and a
mean,
half hour
pretty close.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, to Indy, and of course, like I always knew what the Indy 500 was, but I can't believe I just been so close this whole time, and now I'm a fan, and I'm like, I could have been going this whole time.
Could have been going. Yeah. We're also really close to where Indy races for Mid Ohio. It's only like 2 hours from us too. Again,
Yeah.
never knew existed. You remember what you were talking about with like the Texas track
Oh
for
yeah.
IndyCar?
Hmm.
That's crazy. Like it was like in like your uncle's backyard, and you just like never
Oh
like
yeah.
thought about it.
Like I have family that lives so close to the Texas Motor Speedway, and then when I watched 100 Days to Indy, I was like, oh, that's where they live.
Mm-hmm. You just had no idea that we were so close. All the time, like ever since I started following Formula One, like it's everywhere. I didn't even know.
Yes.
Like it's been here my whole life, and I just never paid attention to it, which is crazy. Like even in like there'll be like some movies, like an Iron Man,
Oh yeah,
like how,
Monaco.
yeah. I never registered anything about the Formula One part in Iron Man, but I've watched that movie multiple times until I
Love that
became a
movie.
Formula One fan, and I was like, oh, that's literally Formula One.
That's where they were. Yeah, or that's like when I think it was literally like a couple weeks after I became a fan. I have an Echo show in my kitchen that has the screen, and literally on the screen was a news story about Oscar, and I was like, "What is Oscar doing on my Echo right now?"
What is Oscar? What are you doing on my Echo?
Like that's just so crazy. How this
Yeah,
like it's everywhere.
it's giving Invisible String by Taylor Swift.
It is. Wow, love that.
Yeah, I love that for us. We again have a group message with some of our friends that do watch Formula One, and one of them sent the TikTok of the guy's like shirt that was like, "I gave so many signs," the Taylor Swift song, but it was Carlos
Yeah,
Sainz on it. I love a good Taylor Swift Formula One crossover,
love it.
and I forget when we were talking about it, but like there's a chance, a slight chance, but there could be a possibility that Taylor Swift is at the Miami Grand Prix, because Travis Kelce will probably be at the Miami Grand Prix because he is an investor in Alpine, and it's during the off season and all of
Hmm.
this stuff. And he was there last year, right?
I think Patrick was there last year. I know that for
Patrick was there
sure.
last year.
Yeah.
So there's a very good chance that Travis could be going. And if Taylor doesn't have a concert, which I don't know her concert schedule, did we look that up?
No.
If she doesn't have a concert, I feel like there's a good chance that she'd be at the Miami Grand Prix. If
I
she's at the
agree.
Miami Grand Prix and I'm at the Miami Grand Prix and I'm in the same vicinity as Taylor Swift at a motorsports event,
I think I'd be forced to pass away.
I'll lose my freaking marbles.
I don't even know how. Like, of course, we would never see her.
Right.
Like,
she is not sitting in the same area that we are going to be sitting.
no. But that'd still be
Just
so
knowing.
crazy.
We'd
Yeah.
feel her presence. We would know
Like,
if she was there.
I'm at the same event as Taylor Swift. And
Yeah.
arguably, actually, we would know more about it than she would.
Oh, for sure. We know more about it than Travis does, and Travis
Like,
is an investor.
when he called it Alpine.
Oh, that poor boy don't know what the hell's going on with Formula One.
No, he's trying his hardest. Patrick was
He's
probably
just
like,
following Patrick Mahomes and
no,
doing whatever he
literally.
says.
Like, I went to a race last year. It was pretty fun. These guys are kind of the underdogs. Let's invest in them.
Yeah.
Why do we always end up talking about football?
Yeah, honestly. We
Or, like,
love
football
sports.
players.
Big sports girls.
Big sports girls over here.
Me and Gracie talk about all the time how like if you would have like told us like 3 years ago that we were gonna have a sports podcast,
Yeah.
would have been insane. Like would have been like
Like, what the
no,
fuck? No, yeah.
simply we wouldn't. The only way is if somehow like Harry Styles got into like sports, like was an athlete.
Yeah.
That is how that would have happened, and that obviously is not going to happen because if anybody knows Harry Styles, he's not very athletic.
Mm-mm.
He's a good dancer. But he
Great
can't
dancer.
play sports very well.
Yeah, he can't have it all. He'd be too powerful.
Yeah.
When Lando gets his first win this season,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to say if. Who would you want on the podium with him? Like your dream.
Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I want Oscar up there, and I hope that he's
Mm-hmm.
second because I want a McLaren 1-2. And then my first instinct is to say Carlos. Because
Yeah.
one, I want Carlos to be successful this year to stick it to Ferrari. And two, Carlos and Lando, obviously, that's just iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Also funny thinking about Carlos and Oscar being on the podium together because they have that like funny little like rivalry. But I wouldn't mind if Daniel Ricciardo was up there with them because that would mean a possible shoey.
A definite shoey.
And that is worth its weight in gold.
Especially
Seeing
if it's...
Oscar, Daniel, and Lando do a shoey together.
Wow.
2 Australians on the podium at once. Mark Webber would be shaking.
Mark Webber would know what to do.
He wouldn't know what to do with 2 Australians up there. But it'd be great. I also, if not going the McLaren 1-2 route, I would love I think someone commented about this on one of our TikToks, but I would love a 2019 rookies podium.
That would just be, especially if they were up there when Lando gets his first win.
Oh, it would be so special. I'd cry. I mean, I'm gonna cry when Lando gets his first win anyways, but
no matter what.
Like George up there, I mean George already has his win.
Mm-hmm.
But like him being up there with Alex and Lando, for Lando's win or for Alex's win, I would be happy with both of them.
Oh, yeah.
But if all 3 of them were up there together, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
That'd be so just immediate save.
The
video.
What do you think is like the most unlikely podium? Like out of like all 3, like how the heck did these 3 end up on the podium? Who do you think those 3 people would be?
No offense. A Haas 1-2 with Joe.
Logan. Oh. Wow. Okay, that actually would be insane. Like something like what happened during the race.
How
like,
did that happen?
There had to have been like a massive crash. Everyone at the front of the pack is just taken out.
Yeah.
And they're like, we'll just race it out, the 3 of us.
We'll finish it.
You get on the podium no matter what. It's just 3 cars racing.
They just do a quick quali lap to see who gets the fastest. Yeah. They like cut it short.
They're like, listen, let's cut our losses. We know that this isn't going anywhere. Wow. Or like, what do you think maybe like the funniest podium would be? Like that's like a, just like 3 unlikely like matched up together. Like, cause it would be like if like Fernando, would be crazy. Which this has probably happened before.
The 3 Spanish speakers?
Yeah, like Fernando. Well, maybe it hasn't. Fernando, Carlos, and Checo.
That'd be a fun podium.
That'd be a fun podium. That would be cool. Or like all like the world champions, like Fernando, Lewis, and Max would be kind of iconic. I'm sure that's happened before though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other crazy ones that would happen. Maybe an all French one, or not like all French speakers,
Oh.
So like that could be like Esteban, Pierre, and Lance, or Charles. He speaks French. He's not French, but he speaks French.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I need to see Lance back on the podium.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to Track Talk this week, and Lance fans, and they always say "Live, Laugh, Lance," and I'm kind of obsessed with that.
Yeah, live,
So
laugh, Lance.
I will be adapting that into my everyday.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle, honestly.
Sometimes you just gotta live, laugh, Lance. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard to say, live, laugh, Lance.
Live, laugh.
It's
Yeah, it is.
like a tongue twister.
Mm-hmm.
Say it quick 3 times.
Live, laugh, Lance. Live, laugh, Lance. Live, laugh, Lance.
Oh, that was
I did
actually
it.
pretty good.
Oh,
That's pretty
yeah.
impressive, I won't lie.
I was just like preparing myself to not be able to say it.
Yeah.
So I
What do you
just
think, out of all of the races this year, which one
mm-hmm.
are you other than Miami,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, which one are you the most excited for?
Um, I'm gonna say Japan or Silverstone.
Why?
So I don't know a lot of the tracks that are usually in the first half of the season
Mm-hmm.
since I only watched the second half. But I really liked Japan. I liked the racing that went on
It
there.
was good to McLaren, too, so.
Yeah. Um and I also like Lando's home race.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually
Yeah.
Australia too for Daniel and Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be so
Yeah.
fun. You know,
That'll
think
be
about
special.
the country of Australia is having a moment right now. Like Taylor Swift is there, and then in a couple weeks, Formula One's going to be there.
Very
The
prominent country in our lives.
it really is.
Australia is that girl right now.
She is. What are you? What
Yeah.
tracks are you most excited for?
Um, well, I'm excited for, let's see. I'm excited for Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for Singapore.
Oh yeah.
I love Singapore and how it's like a night race. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Lando did very well in Singapore. McLaren did very good in Singapore last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for Austin. Obviously, there is a chance. Hopefully, we'll get to Austin too. So that's an obvious one. But
Mm-hmm.
Austin, even if I wasn't going to Austin, it's always an exciting one just because, well, one, they're in the United States, which is always exciting to be in the same country as them.
Yeah.
But also because it's Danny Ricciardo's home race, his second home race, and technically Logan's second home race as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what is one of my Roman empires is the little letter that Logan like sent out before the Vegas race.
Mm,
It was
yeah.
so cute.
I love that man.
Me too.
I always knew that obviously he's from Fort Lauderdale and I knew the Miami Grand Prix, but I never until we were booking tickets, I knew Fort Lauderdale was close to Miami. I knew that. But I didn't realize how close they were. They are practically the same city.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I knew that Miami was his home race. I knew that. But I didn't realize how close to home it actually is for him.
It's his backyard.
Yeah, so I'm excited, and I hope that he has a much better home race this year. One, because we'll be there, but two, he deserves it. And you know what?
Does.
You know what else is? I really hope, and I think that it will happen. I hope that there's some more Logan spirit at the Grand Prix in the United States this year, because I feel like a lot of people didn't come out in support for Logan. And obviously there were a lot of, Checo fans at the Austin one just because, again, it's so close to Mexico and, everyone has their favorite drivers already. But, I hope that Miami is there's something special for Logan there.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm just so excited, honestly.
Yeah. I need to get my Williams merch ready.
Me too. The
I think
Etsy
I'm gonna
company.
do that.
The Etsy company that I was going to buy my Williams shirt from is no longer up.
Oh no! I got this shirt at Etsy.
I think now I'm gonna get that shirt Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want to do I think a Williams hat.
Cute.
But I also want to get. I think the day that I wear my Aston Martin hat, I'm gonna also wear my Fernando Renault shirt.
Yeah, you have to.
It might be an overkill, but it's because I love Fernando so much.
No. I think it's
so
amazing.
I love that man. But yeah, I think maybe I I'll probably do like Fernando shirt and Fernando hat the first day, and then maybe Saturday I'll do Williams hat and like just a normal outfit, and then Sunday obviously I'm gonna wear my McLaren hat and then
Mm-hmm.
just a normal outfit. It's gonna be too hot to like wear a t-shirt, you know? Like I'll
It's
need
gonna
to
be
wear a tank
so
top.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. At least we're into the
I
shade.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. And also like I feel like last year it was randomly like not too hot of weather in Miami.
Oh really?
So I wonder, yeah, like they were talking how like it was pretty like mild for what it like temperatures normally could be in Miami during that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So I do wonder if it's normal like weather of how it could be, if that's going to affect the drivers more and like they're almost like not going to expect it because Miami, it was so normal last
Oh.
year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That'll be interesting. But I
It will
mean,
be.
we know, obviously Singapore is always one of the hottest races of the year. Qatar was really hot last year.
Thank
They
God they
did
moved it.
change. Yeah, they moved that so that people were passing out,
That was
which
just
is
so.
insane to me.
Yeah.
That's one of the races that we watched at a watch party at
Yeah, we
a
did.
at a
Brewery.
thank
At a
you.
brewery. Yep.
But I didn't like watching it there because we were too far away. It was hard to see.
Mm-hmm. That it also was a little difficult because that's when Logan retired for not feeling good, and everybody was like, "Why is he retiring?" Like we were so confused.
Uh
I
huh.
guess maybe people at home could have been too, but and then finally I
Mm.
like got online in the election. I was like, "Oh my God, he's sick! Like he physically can't race anymore."
Yeah. Well, it's because we couldn't hear any of the like radio messages either,
Yeah.
like because it was so echoey in there that like we couldn't like tell what he was saying, and then the captions were like put on, but then when the captions were put on, it was blocking some of the like times, and like it was not set up well. So hopefully at the new
Brewery.
that we're going to this year, it'll be set up a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think Charles is going to break his Monaco curse?
I freaking hope so.
I know.
That poor boy needs a break.
Honestly, I think he might get it this year.
I just feel so bad for him.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I'm really interested to see if it's going to be Max winning every race again. Like I know he's going to win majority of the races,
Mm-hmm.
but like I really do wonder if maybe there's a chance that maybe Ferrari, I mean hopefully McLaren, but maybe Ferrari is going to be battling Red Bull a little bit closer this year.
Maybe.
I also,
Lando.
another thing about preseason testing is I feel like I didn't really hear much, you know, excitement from Mercedes at all. Like Mercedes was pretty quiet.
They were pretty quiet. I saw. Was it Will Buxton? Maybe somebody ranked Aston above Mercedes in like the
Well,
ranking of everything.
was Aston behind McLaren? Did it go
I
Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston, Mercedes?
I believe so.
Okay, I'm happy with that. As long as Aston and Mercedes weren't above McLaren.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I feel like Aston looked pretty good too. Like I feel like they could potentially be more of a threat than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, everyone always talks about how, well, obviously we know Fernando is an amazing driver. And
Mm-hmm.
Lance, everyone always talks about how amazing of a driver he is, and that he
He's
just
really
hasn't been
good.
put in a car that will show off how amazing of a driver he actually is.
Yeah.
To where I do wonder if maybe Lance is gonna like come in and kill it this year. That'd be insane.
I kind of feel it happening, and like I don't know if it's just my
That'd be
love
cool.
for
I mean,
him, but
I don't want them to beat McLaren.
no,
But if any team did beat McLaren, I'd be okay with it being Aston
I'd
Martin.
be okay with it being Aston Martin for sure.
I'd be really pissed off, I won't lie.
No, yeah,
It'd be like a really bad internal battle for me.
yeah,
But I love Fernando and Lance so much that I think it could be okay. I wonder, also, I always like kind of associate Aston Martin with TikTok.
oh yeah,
And, um, I'm just excited to see all the TikTok content we're going to
I'm
get from
so
Aston
excited.
Martin.
Yeah, I
Like
love it.
Fernando especially.
The
Do you think
microwave one?
Fernando does all of those videos because he knows that Lance doesn't want to?
Oh, probably.
Like
I
Fernando's
also
like,
think
nah, I don't
I'll
care.
do
I'll do
it.
it.
Somebody over winter break, somebody was like, I think I could be getting it so wrong. I think their social media person or filming person, his name is
hmm
Jimmy, and
hmm
somebody was like, you can tell Fernando actually posted this one because Jimmy doesn't use hashtags.
Jimmy would never use a hashtag.
It's like, I don't know if this is actually real, but that's so funny to think about. I forget which one it was. It's so funny to think about Fernando being like, this is good. I'm going to post it.
Yeah. Hashtag cool. Hashtag for you page.
No, like,
Hashtag Formula
it's so
One.
funny.
Hashtag Fernando.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man. That's us doing our hashtags on our TikToks.
No, 100%.
Hashtag Fernando.
We should just
I would
hashtag everything Fernando Alonso.
yeah. I love that man. I don't it was a slow burn love that I got for him.
I was just about to say, your love for him has really blossomed.
Yeah. Like 6 months ago, I liked Fernando, but I didn't feel anything special about him. But
Yeah.
now he's literally probably like top 4 drivers.
Whoa. I was going to say 5.
I think he's literally fourth. It's it's Lando, Oscar, Daniel, Fernando.
So are those your top drivers?
I guess so.
I was
Can
going
I
to
do
say,
top 5? Can I do top 5?
yeah.
I say that not knowing who my fifth one is. You go first. Who's your top 5?
Also, well, I was going to say, let's say our top 5, and then we'll see at the end of the season if it changes. It's like, I doubt it will,
Good
but let's
idea.
see.
Good idea.
So,
Let's do top 5 drivers and top 3 teams.
can we do 6?
Top 6 drivers. Okay, yeah, we'll do top 6 drivers.
Maybe
You go first.
This is, I guess, no particular order. Lando, Oscar, Charles, Max, Lance, Logan.
Whoa. Okay.
Carlos is really up there, and so is Daniel. I can't pick everybody.
Mine are Lando, Oscar, Fernando, Daniel, Max, George Russell. George Russell.
Wow.
And I'm proud of that. This, but
We need to
there were so
explain
many
our
people.
laughter.
What is there to explain? I love George Russell.
You do love George Russell.
I love George Russell. And
Did you say Charles?
no? I know there's so many people I wanted to put in. Some of the people I wanted to put
You
in that
picked
didn't.
George over Charles?
I love George.
I also would like to say, I remember this so specifically. I asked you over the summer, I was like, well, okay, I asked you, I was like, who are your favorite Formula One drivers before I get into it? It was like, I'm thinking of, like watching. I actually only asked you that because I was going to get you merch for your birthday. I ended up getting you something else, but you had said Max, Charles, and Daniel.
Yeah, things change.
Things do change.
But I do still love Charles. I still love Logan. I still love Alex. Like all of them. Carlos. I love Carlos. You know, I would love for all of them to be in my top, but I can't.
No, yeah.
But top 3 is definitely, Lando, Oscar, Fernando.
I don't even know who I would pick being my third. Like Lando, Oscar for sure. Logan.
I feel like Charles for you. Or Lance. Or Logan. Wow, that is hard for you, actually.
Yeah, no, it's really hard for me. So hard.
You love Charles, though.
I do really love Charles. Maybe he is third. Actually, after I fell down the Lance rabbit hole on TikTok, I then fell down a Charles one. And it started with
that happens.
The Charles video of him saying, "Oh my god, I lost my English," popped up. And then I went down a Charles rabbit hole.
Yeah. It happens.
It's so hard.
Yeah. What are your top 3 teams?
McLaren, Ferrari, Williams.
Yeah. I don't think those will change. Mine's
then
Fernando. What's Fernando?
my favorite team, Fernando.
My favorite Formula One team is just Fernando. It's
Yeah.
just hashtag Fernando. No, my top teams are McLaren, Aston Martin, and Williams.
I think I would say Aston would be my fourth team.
I think my fourth team would be. I actually don't know what my fourth team would be. Maybe. Maybe V-Carb.
Okay, good pick.
Because of Daniel.
Yeah.
I love that man. Daniel's one of those people that, like, every time I see him, I just get rejuvenated.
Yes. Such
Like, he's
great
so,
energy.
like, I saw, like, a TikTok clip of him doing an interview, and he had, like, a fly on. Did you see this?
Yes.
He had a fly on his shirt. He was just like, should I eat it? It's protein. And, like, in my head, I was like, what a weirdo. But then I was like, damn, he's just so, like,
that's my weirdo.
That's my weirdo. That's my man. Oh, man. But yeah, I do wonder if that'll change for next year. It'll be interesting to kind of check back in. We should do a summer check-in, too, to see summer break check-in. And then after the season check-in, put all the clips together.
Yeah. That'll be good. I have another question for you.
Okay.
And it just came to me, so if you need a second, we probably both might.
Okay.
Bucket list for this motorsport season. I'm saying motorsport because it's something for Indy cars on mine. Like top 3, 4 bucket list things you want to happen, things you want to see, or even like things with the podcast.
Okay. Well, obviously, like things I want to happen to, like nothing to do with me.
Yeah, you could say like something to do with you. Like one of mine is meet a driver this year.
I was going to say I want to meet Pato.
Yeah, we've actually said that. I feel like that's a very obtainable goal for us, is to meet Pato.
I think we should try to meet them. I think we should do it. I'd actually love to meet Alexander Rossi and karaoke Creed with him.
Imagine like something happens at the Indy 500 and we're just at a karaoke bar with Alexander Rossi. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my bucket list item.
Yes.
Bucket list item: karaoke with Alexander Rossi. No, actually, yeah, I would like to meet a driver as well. Some other bucket list items. I would like to get to a second Formula One race.
Me too.
Because I know we don't have that planned yet, so I'd like for that to happen. Obviously, I want like the podcast to grow more. This is a hard question. What are yours?
Mine's definitely meet a driver.
I
have to hiccup, sorry. See Lando get his first win. And I would like for the podcast as a whole to do something at a race. Like, do I think we're gonna get like a huge sponsor and like go there? No, but like even if it's something.
Hey, if you're listening and you want a sponsor,
we're manifesting in this space.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, something like that.
I'm excited to go to the races to even just like vlog, like content. You know,
it'll be so fun.
May is gonna be absolutely insane, but I'm just excited to be there and in the atmosphere and everything. And me and Grace talk about it every single day. We like will FaceTime each other. They'll be like, I can't believe we're going to Miami.
Let's see.
It's so crazy.
How many days? We leave in 67 days.
Wow.
Actually, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no. It'll be 50 days so soon. And then, like, once you hit the 50-day mark, like...
It's going to go so quick.
It's going to go so quick.
I know we've already talked about this. Why isn't the sprint, like, times released?
Yeah.
That's so
I want them
annoying.
to release who's performing as well.
Actually, yeah, I cannot wait for that.
Who do you think could, who would you want to perform
Okay,
realistically?
Pitbull.
Pitbull would be great for the Miami Grand
Pitbull would be
Prix.
amazing. And he just did a bunch of stuff, the Daytona 500, his song with Dolly
Mm-hmm.
Parton.
Yeah.
I,
I would like for Bad Bunny to perform.
yeah, I think,
Bad Bunny would be so good for Miami.
like realistically, people that could do it, Pitbull, Bad Bunny, and potentially Jack Harlow.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. I
Yeah,
would love Jack Harlow to perform. I'm trying to think if
yeah.
there's anybody else like.
Like it was the Jonas Brothers last year.
Mm-hmm. The year before that, it was Post Malone.
I'm really sad I missed that.
Yeah. Um, it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see
Yeah, I can't
about
wait.
the performances because we will be attending that.
100%.
Unless it's someone stupid that we don't want to see, but.
Oh, what if it's Creed?
If Creed is performing at the Miami Grand Prix, we're getting to the front row.
I'd do that
And
for you.
Grace, you just have to go on that journey with me.
Yep, I'd do that for you for sure.
I would absolutely lose it. I don't think Creed would perform at Formula One. They would definitely perform at an IndyCar race, though.
You're only saying that because of Alexander Rossi.
Yeah, no, they did. Oh, it was with NASCAR. They did like a thing with NASCAR recently.
Oh, did they?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I feel like, yeah, you sent that to me.
Yeah, I was really jealous. I wish for Alexander Rossi that it was IndyCar, but it was NASCAR.
He's
So,
in the motorsport space.
they're
Okay.
dipping their toe in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I have one last fun question.
Okay.
Not related to, it's just fun. What driver pairing on the grid do you think would do best at the show Amazing Race?
Realistically,
Mm-hmm.
I think Fernando and Lance.
Actually, that's such a good point.
I think they have French and Spanish
Mm-hmm.
and English, which is
Mm-hmm.
always already, pretty good. They would do better than like Mercedes with that because, they both only speak, I think they only speak English.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, but so that, and then also I think they would be patient with each other. I think Fernando would be patient with Lance. I
That's a
think
really
they're
good
both
point.
like they wouldn't get like thinking about like Charles and Carlos, like they would get so mad at each other.
They
Or
would.
like
They'd fail.
I think Max would get frustrated with Checo.
Oh, see, I thought that they would do good only
Mm,
because of they have a decent amount of languages between them.
yeah, that's true.
And Max is like so good at geography.
That is true as well.
Like
I just
when
think that Max is so competitive, and right
yeah.
now he just has to rely on himself to win. But
Oh,
when he
that's a
would
good
have to
point.
rely on another person, I think he would get really frustrated. Even if Checo like did good at something, but didn't do something like to Max's standard, I think Max would get frustrated. I don't know if he would be like, act. I can't see him like lashing out at Checo, but I
No.
think internally he would be really frustrated.
Yeah.
I think Daniel and Yuki would be absolutely horrible.
I was just gonna say that they do the worst.
They would do horrible because Yuki'd be like, I don't care about this. I'm not doing this. And Daniel would be goofing off the whole time. Like, they wouldn't take it seriously. They wouldn't care.
No. They'd be like, okay, you gotta run out of the airport. Your flight just landed. You could be like, I'm not running.
Yeah. Or in the other sense, Yuki would get so into it and then just start, like, getting, like, cussing at people when, like he was trying to get, like, clues. And, like,
Oh yeah.
or, like, he had to, like, get something, like, in, like, the challenges where they have to, like, get something checked. And, like, if
Yeah.
the person has to, like, approve it before he gets so mad when he wasn't approved. Like, he'd start cussing at them. And then it'd just be a whole issue.
Kiwi's making
Get
a
kicked
feature.
off. Hey, girl. She's waving.
She is. Yeah, no, I was thinking that before. I feel like they would Daniel and Yuki would do the worst.
Yeah. I think, who else? I think, Esteban and Pierre would do horrible as well because
They'd
they
pick
already
their time.
dislike each other.
Lando and Oscar would not do good.
No, for sure. No, because Oscar would be trying to like Lando would be so competitive, but he'd get so frustrated.
Yeah.
and then he would like break down when he like shut down when he gets frustrated, and Oscar would like not know how to like get through to Lando without like, I think obviously Oscar's a little scared of Lando. You can tell like he doesn't want to like, he's a
What?
little scared of him. You can tell.
What?
Like he doesn't want to like, I don't know. I think Oscar still has that. He's definitely more comfortable, but he's still coming in with like, I'm like the rookie in this pairing, and he like defers to Lando a lot. Like Lando will say something and Oscar will be like, yeah. Obviously
Yeah,
not
I
like
don't think that
something
means
like,
he's scared of him.
I think he's a little scared of him.
That's so interesting. Oh, hi, Kiwi.
I think he's a little scared of him.
That's so interesting.
Not scared of him, I guess, necessarily. Scared of his reactions.
Huh. I think Oscar would. No, I mean, they would do bad, but I think he would be trying to take it seriously, and then Lando would see Daniel across the park when they're trying to find a clue and just run and be like, Daniel, did you guys find the clue yet? How are you doing?
Lando would only like rely on all of the other drivers like being in love with him and just giving him the answers to the clues. And actually, maybe they would do good because of that. Like all of the other teams would be trying to help out McLaren just because they love Lando so much.
I also think they'd feel so bad for them.
Yeah,
Like,
and they
Max
are
would
like
be
the
"No, no,
youngest
the clue is
pairing on
over
the.
there."
They're so young too that they're just like,
Yes.
oh come on guys, you can be with us. Like share our taxi. Like,
Yes. Hop in. Come on,
it'd
there's
just be so many.
space.
Yeah, and then what would happen also would be like Max would like leave Checo and like team up with Daniel, and then they'd like win together, like win the whole thing, and they were like, you all aren't partners.
Max would be like, wait, what?
It's not how it works.
Oh my gosh. God,
But
that'd
I
be
think
so funny to see.
realistically, I think Fernando and Lance would win it all.
Yeah, that's actually such a good point because they just, yeah, they wouldn't like fight really at all. I feel like Lance is just too unbothered to wait. Fernando would be like, okay, we have to go this way. And Lance would be like, I think we should go the other way, but all right, we're going your way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he just always has like an unbothered, chill attitude.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be good. Good question.
Thank you. I have a couple more of those up my sleeve. We can sprinkle those in throughout the season.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, this episode was kind of all over the place, but I think overarching ideas is we're excited that it's back. We're excited for the content. We're excited for the first race. We will have a race recap up next Sunday. Super exciting with our thoughts on the first race. And I mean, I could have a very different attitude next Sunday depending on the results and how things go.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm very nervous.
But I'm excited. So,
yeah, me too.
Appreciate you all listening. Thank you for listening. As always, follow us on all the social medias. We post on TikTok quite a bit. We post on Instagram. We're getting better about posting on Twitter, but we kind of got to work on that. But yeah, follow us to make sure that you're keeping up with all of the content. And we will see you all next week after the first race.
I'm so excited.
So excited.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.